Hello, and welcome once again to the Lisper Podcast. I am your host, Tyrone, and the co-host is here. The co-host is here. That's the co-host. Y'all know him. 1800, that's my man's in there. He's already made his contribution to the episode right here. Y'all know how he get down. And y'all know how I get down. Now, if you read the comments, not the comments, if you read the whatever it is, the thing, the title, whatever it is, if you read the title, then you know that this episode is called Better Be Super. But before we get to the title of the episode or what the episode is about, we got to get to something right here. We got to get down to the business. We got to get down to the brass tacks. Y'all see that? Y'all see what that is? Y'all see what that is? That's the Commanders Championship belt right here, baby. Hopefully, this championship belt that I got of the Commanders will turn into a real championship this year. Jaden Daniels is a rookie that might end up in the Super Bowl. Because that's what we ain't scared of. We weren't scared of them Lions, and we ain't scared of them Eagles. Okay, we ain't scared of them Eagles. We ain't scared of them Beagles, them Seagulls. I don't call them Eagles. I call them the Beagles. I call them the Seagulls. I call them everything I can call them but winners. Because this is what it's about right here. But no, for real, shout out to the Commanders, man. Because guess what? And they champions just like me. I'm a champion, okay? And we about to see what's up. But right now, they going to the NFC Championship game. Nobody gave them a chance against Detroit. They put them Lions to bed, okay? They made them look like Simbas, baby Simbas, not Mufasas. They wasn't Mufasas. They were Simba Lions, baby Simbas. And Scar fucked them up. Remember what Scar did to Mufasa? That's what my Commanders did the other day. So shout out to the Commanders, shout out to Jaden Daniels. Shout out to Buffalo Bills too. I mean, listen. Before I get into it, I just want to talk about this. Everybody today was blaming Andrews for dropping that 2-point conversion in that Buffalo game. They was like, Andrews dropped the 2-point conversion. If Andrews had it converted that 2-point conversion, that's not the reason why they lost the game. That 2-point conversion was going to do nothing but send that game in overtime. All that 2-point conversion was going to do was keep them in the game. It wasn't going to win it. So when people was like, "Oh, if Andrew had to caught that ball, Baltimore would be going to the NFC Championship game." No, not true. The AFC Championship game. It's not true. If Andrews would have caught that 2-point conversion, the game would have been tied, and they would have had to kick that ball off. And Buffalo would have had a shot at getting in the field goal range, depending on where that ball went, how that kickoff went, or the game would have went to overtime where Buffalo would have got the ball first. What are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? There's so many more variables that could have occurred after that don't, you know what I mean? So I'm glad Andrews dropped it because I wanted Buffalo to win. I was rooting for Buffalo, so I'm glad Andrews dropped it, but he ain't the reason they lost. And neither is Lamar Jackson. I usually hate on Lamar Jackson because I hate Lamar Jackson, but I'm not going to hate on him this time. The man threw an interception that ended up being irrelevant. And he had a fumble that was pretty bad, and it ended up being relevant, but they still had a chance to tie the game at the end without that fumble. And in the second half, my man played spectacular, and he put his team in position to tie the game. He didn't put him in position to win it, but he put him in position to tie it and get him in overtime when we don't know what was happening. Okay, so I'm not going to blame Lamar Jackson, but I'm glad my man lost. And now I hope Buffalo can beat Kansas City, and y'all know who I'm rooting for in the NFC. So my Super Bowl prediction is that we're going to have a Buffalo Bills-Washington Commanders rematch. And it's going to be good, and it's going to be great, and it's going to happen. Because fuck y'all. Y'all hating. But anyway, so my episode today is called It Better Be Super, and it better be super. It better be super. It better be super motherfucking duper, because what's the difference between the DC universe and the Marvel universe is Marvel doesn't need their movies to be super. Marvel doesn't need their movies to be super. And what I mean by that is Marvel has put out so many movies, and they've had the cinematic universe. And what they've done is they've kept the continuity, so to speak. They started out saying this is going to be a Marvel cinematic universe, and they kept that cinematic universe. So they kept Captain America. They kept Iron Man. They kept Guardians of the Galaxy. They kept Thor. They kept Spider-Man. And they kept all of these people and all of these characters and all of this continuity, and they put it together. And they kept it together. and they kept it together, and they ran it, and they tried to link it up, and they tried to make all the plots and the storylines work to keep it together, and they pivoted a little, and they pivoted back, but ultimately, we still have that universe, and ultimately, they didn't need all of those movies to be hits. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man, who is supposed to be the star of the show, wasn't even, his movies weren't even the best. Like Captain America had the best movies out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then Guardians of the Galaxy had a great trilogy, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of those films weren't good. Two of the Iron Man films weren't too good. The Thor movies were kind of like, I mean, Ragnarok was great, and I like Love and Thunder. I ain't gonna lie, I like Love and Thunder. I thought Love and Thunder was funny. I thought it was like cool. I love seeing Jane as the mighty Thor. I enjoyed Ragnarok. The only thing not Ragnarok. I enjoyed Love and Thunder. The only thing I didn't like about Love and Thunder was Zeus. Zeus was kind of like gay, a little something. I mean, I know he wore the skirt. The skirt wasn't with the part. It was like the way he danced in the skirt and the way he kind of like, I don't know. Zeus just didn't do it for me, but the rest of that movie was pretty good. The Ghost was pretty good. I like that movie. But we could say the Thor films, two of them, one of them was great, two of them was kind of bad, and then one of them, Love and Thunder, which was considered really bad, was not too bad. So I'm not going to go too much into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I'm saying that Marvel can make bad films and still survive. DC, on the other hand, does not have that privilege. DC does not have that opportunity because DC had the DC Cinematic Universe or whatever it was called, DC ECU. It was called some crazy shit at first. DCU was just regular. The DC Universe, that's regular. They had the DC EU or something they had that was weird. I guess they didn't want to call it the DCU because Marvel had the MCU, so they tried to change it and put an E in there for, I don't even know what the fuck the E stand for at this point, but they don't have the leeway to have a bad film. Now, for me, I was all for restoring the Snyderverse. I was all for restoring the Snyderverse because for one, and this was just me for one, Man of Steel wasn't a bad movie for me. Man of Steel had a different take on Superman. It showed him as a kid. It showed him as a kid using his powers as a kid. It showed him as a kid that people might have known who he was. It showed him as a kid like being stressed out about having these powers and shit like that. It showed his dad that was so protective of his son using his powers and showing his powers that he basically committed suicide. He basically told his son to let him die, knowing that his son could have saved him. And it showed his dad in a different light and what he really was trying to do. It showed his dad have a different reason to send him to Earth other than just to save his son. It shows Zod had a different passion to catch him and to get him other than just, I want to kill his son because I can't kill his daddy. You know what I mean? Because in the first one, Zod had a vendetta against his daddy and was just like, you know what, since I can't get you, I'm gonna fuck your son up. But this man is still sold the Codex and Zod was going to rebuild Krypton and he needed the Codex to rebuild to save all, like remake Kryptonians and shit like that. I liked it. Okay, I did. I enjoyed that film. And was it great? No, but it was cool. As an origin story film for Superman, it was cool. It worked. And Henry Cavill was a great Superman. Henry Cavill was a great Superman. I ain't going to doubt that. Okay, the first Wonder Woman was an excellent film. The first Wonder Woman was an excellent film, and so you had Man of Steel, you have Batman vs Superman, and you have Wonder Woman. That was the essential start of the DC universe. That was the essential start, right? That was a good start. Okay, Man of Steel was cool. Batman vs Superman was cool to me. Batman vs Superman was cool to me. And I'll tell you what I did like. I did like Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. He was eccentric. He was insane. He was quirky. But you could tell he had that little bit of evil in him. You know, that little bit of evil in him. Get kidnapping Martha and that shit he was doing. He had that evil in him. You could tell. And I was curious to see where they were going to go with him. Because he was quirky and he was cool. But I knew that like when he turned evil, he was probably going to be like real evil. So I was curious about where they was going to go with him. I like the concept of Batman fighting Superman. That was cool. I like Batman putting on that suit and having the kryptonite and fucking Superman up to an extent, damn near killing him. I like that. The Martha shit, I did not like. I didn't understand. What did DC love that name, Martha? Because I never put two and two together that Batman's mom and Superman's mom both was named Martha. So was there somebody in DC that was named Martha, or did DC just like that name? I don't know. But that part kind of like, I don't know, that part bothered me. It was like, this is corny. Now, y'all gonna stop fighting because of Martha. You could have, I don't know, they could have came up with some other way for Batman to spare Superman's life. But the Martha shit, I could have lived without that. And I also could have lived without the Doomsday shit. I could have lived without the Doomsday shit because Doomsday is such a formidable villain. Doomsday is such a formidable villain that I'm like, why would you use him in this movie right here when you know you got to kill him? And I know in hindsight they was going to be they planned the Justice League and they planned to use Steppenwolf and Darkseid, whatever you want to call him. They planned on using him. They planned on using Steppenwolf. So they thought that, you know, Doomsday would be a lower level villain. But I'm thinking, like, if you're going to continue the Justice League and you're going to continue the universe, you're going to have more Superman films. And the death of Superman is something that if you're going to have Superman films, you kind of got to incorporate that. And y'all going to have the Justice League, which means y'all going to have Green Lanterns and stuff. Y'all going to have more of the Justice League later on. And the Justice League was a big part in the death of Superman's story. Doomsday ran roughshod over the Justice League before he even got to Superman. So it's like, y'all didn't want to use that later. Y'all wanted to use Doomsday early and kill him? Or was it a plan where they was going to kill Doomsday and somehow Doomsday's body was going to be used for research and they was going to bring him back, resurrect him or something? Because they didn't even let him turn to his full form. That Doomsday in there never got the rocks fully out of his body. He never really fully looked like Doomsday. He never turned to his real full Doomsday form. So maybe they was planning on using Doomsday down the line. I don't know, but it was a good start. The Batman vs. Superman wasn't too bad. People didn't like it. It was dark. It was crazy, but it wasn't too bad. Man, it still wasn't too bad. Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman was excellent, right? So you got a good start, right? Got a good foundation. And guess what? The Aquaman films weren't good. Ain't gonna lie, the Aquaman films weren't good. But who gave a fuck? Nobody cares about Aquaman. And the Aquaman films were just money grabs and to put Aquaman as part of the thing. And you know Aquaman films was just a money grab thing. They was gonna look real nice because they did look real nice. The plot wasn't gonna be that big. He's the fish guy. I mean, nobody gives a fuck. So the Aquaman films didn't have to perform, so they were still cool. The Flash, I never liked that dude as the Flash. I never liked him as the Flash. I thought he was kind of corny. I didn't like him. And then after they said the Snyderverse was over, and we weren't doing the Snyderverse, and we wasn't continuing it, and after Justice League, Henry Cavill was fired, even though the Snyder cut of the Justice League was better than the other one, and the Justice League movie failed. I mean, Cyborg is corny as fuck. You should have used Cyborg for Young Justice, or you could use Cyborg for Teen Titan movies, but in the Justice League, Cyborg is corny as fuck. The Flash is kind of corny as fuck. Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman was great, but the movie just kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know what was wrong with it. It just didn't hit right. It just didn't hit right. But it was decent. It was decent. Now, the stuff they was doing with what they were going to do with the future Batman or whatever, I mean the future Superman going crazy, whatever, I don't know. Batfleck, I thought, was a cool Batman. They didn't give his backstory. They let him be Batman. They let him be an older version of Batman. So I was thinking, like, when they go through the movies, they might do some flashbacks of Robin being killed. They might do some flashbacks of his life. The solo Batman film will be maybe him quitting or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Happy New Year, cousin. Happy New Year, friend. That's what's up. Thanks, cousin. I thought that maybe they could do something with that, whatever the case may be. But I thought the DCEU was going to a decent place. And then when they canceled the Snyderverse, I was like, fuck it, then it's over. It's over. And then they come out with this. They still put the Flash film out, which was shocking to me that they still would put that film out. It was like, are y'all just trying to get money? Because this continuity, all of this is over. So y'all putting this Flash film out to just like get money. So I really thought that Flash film was money grab. I was like, this is insane. And I wasn't paying to go to the movies to see it, but I saw it on streaming, and it's not a good movie. I'm not interested in the Flash. I don't care about him. I don't care about nothing. Every time I watch it now, I just skip to Michael Keaton, man. Because Michael Keaton was good. Michael Keaton was Batman when they got in his house and he fucked him up. And then he was telling him he was Batman, and then he decided to shave and go back to being Batman, and he went out and did the bad shit with them. Michael Keaton was cool. Michael Keaton, Batman, took down a Kryptonian, a big-ass Kryptonian, took him down. But ultimately, the movie sucked, for real. The movie wasn't good, and y'all introduced the new Supergirl, and I like the look or whatever. Y'all introduced the new Supergirl just to constantly kill her. She wasn't even strong enough to win the fight. Y'all kill her, y'all kill Batman. It's like, what the fuck are y'all doing here? So that was kind of disturbing and weird to me. So, okay, Snyderverse, all that shit is over, right? And then DC comes out with the Batman. The Batman. And anybody who knows me knows that I hate Robert Pattinson. Everybody who knows me knows I hate Robert Pattinson. And I hate Robert Pattinson for two reasons. Twilight. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Twilight, y'all know about the Twilight films, but you can go back, listen to the podcast episode. It's called Daylight. And it'll explain why Twilight is the worst film. I hate it. And I hate Robert Pattinson in it. And I don't even know. I'm not gay or nothing, but it was no choice between Edward and Jacob for me, because even if I was a woman, it would be Jacob all the way. Like, how does Edward compare to Jacob? Like, Ted Long was at least handsome, nice looking, nice tan, nice body. Edward was pale as fuck, ugly. Like, I didn't get it, but I'm a man. Maybe he got some sex appeal to women. I'm a man. I'm not homosexual. But maybe I don't see the whole thing with Robert Pattinson. But Robert Pattinson, to me, is an ugly gentleman. And that's why I don't like him as Batman neither. I don't like him as Batman because for me, if you want to be Batman, you got to be Bruce Wayne too. That's how I feel. I feel for me, if you're going to be fucking Batman, you need to be fucking Bruce Wayne too. And Bruce Wayne is supposed to be this playboy, philanthropist dude, supposed to be handsome, supposed to be able to get to women, supposed to be this kind of like, you know, like professional businessman, nice, clean cut, all that shit. Robert Pattinson is ugly. I said the same thing about the other one. Oh, shit. His name is getting away from me. But the one that was in the Dark Knight series. I like those movies. Don't get me wrong. The Dark Knight trilogy was great films, but I also did not like that Batman because I thought he was kind of ugly Bruce Wayne too. I'm sorry, but my man was an ugly Bruce Wayne. I don't care. Bruce Wayne is supposed to be way more handsome than the Bruce Wayne they cast. And that's why I thought Ben Affleck was a good one, because he was a handsome gentleman for an older guy, like an older Batman, little scruffy, but he was handsome. He was the best Bruce Wayne, which essentially in turn made him the best Batman, because all the Batmans are comparably good. But him as Bruce Wayne, he was the best Bruce Wayne because he was handsome, and he made me really feel like he was Bruce Wayne. And that takes him over the top. Okay, Michael Keaton was okay, but Michael Keaton looked a little goofy. You know what I mean? As his Bruce Wayne, he looked a little goofy. He looked a little clownish. He didn't look clean cut. He had that curly hair. He didn't look clean cut to me. He was cool. He wasn't bad as Pattinson or the other one. I got to look it up now. Because I can't think of his name and it's bothering me. I'm going to just look it up. That's what Google's for. You know what I mean? Dark Knight trilogy. I can't believe I can't remember this dude's name. Christian Bale. I got it right there. Christian Bale. Christian Bale was kind of ugly as Bruce Wayne. So, you know, Ben Affleck was the best looking Bruce Wayne, and he portrayed Bruce Wayne the best way to me because he looked clean, he looked nice, he came when he, you know. So I'm going with Ben Affleck as the best Batman. I was looking forward to seeing what that Batman was going to do. But, you know, he died. Now, I mean, well, he didn't die. I mean, they just like kind of erased him. They just fucked it all up. And then they do this new Batman with Robert Pattinson, and I'm like, what is this? What is this Batman? Is this Batman starting a new DCU? Is this Batman a solo thing? Is the Joker from the Joker movie, which is a disappointment because part 2 went way left and didn't do me like part 1. Because part 1, I was like, man, this is so interesting. Part 1 was a good movie, and I was like, this dude might not be the Joker because he's really old, but he could be the Joker influence. He can be like the guy who turns the Joker into the Joker. So I was thinking like if they was going to use a Joker in the DCU, that they would use the Joker from the Joker movie to turn somebody else into the Joker. Like somebody idolizes him and he'll kind of like mentor him and create a Joker for the DC universe. That's what I was thinking they were going with, because I was thinking if they used Joaquin Phoenix Joker, he was going to be too old. I mean, Batman was still a child in that movie, so I didn't know what they were doing with that. But then they made the movie and it kind of didn't even incorporate him. Like that Joker didn't exist, didn't come up, didn't nothing in the Batman world. And then Joker part ado, whatever that was called. Was like, y'all gonna make it a musical without original music and make it corny, like, and make it confusing and make it dumb? Like, no, fuck out of here with that. So then I was like, okay. I like Robert Pattinson's Batman. I was like, okay, this Batman is dark. It's kind of cool. We'll see where they're going with that. And I like the Penguin character. And then they made the Penguin series. Oh, shit. The Penguin series was fire. It was fire. It was everything that I thought Gotham would be. The underbelly would be. The girl. Oh, shit. The Hangman. All that shit. Everything was like perfect. Perfection. Man, it was banging as hell. But now I'm like, go off of that. You know what I'm saying? Go off of that. If you're going to start a DC universe, start with that Gotham. Start with that Penguin. Start with that Gotham City. Start with that Batman and go off of that. Because although Robert Pattinson makes me sick to my stomach, yeah, I mean, that's what you got. That's what you got. And the Penguin series made that Gotham the Gotham that needs to be in the DCU. But it don't seem like they going that way, because now they coming out with Superman, and Superman ain't dark. Superman looks light. It looks lit up. Okay? It looks colorful. Okay, it looks back to like lighthearted, like nice. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Robert Pattinson's Dark Batman and the way Gotham looks in the Penguin series is going to mold well with the new thing. And then they said Creature Commandos is they did Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is a cool cartoon. I liked it. It was bloody. It was good. It was killing, cussing, fucking. Matter of fact, Creature Commandos cartoon, with everything I like, it was KFC. Killing, cussing, fucking. That's what I love. That cartoon was great. But they said it's going to be like the continuity of that cartoon is going to be the same as the DCU, which I don't like, because, first of all, you just kind of like made the Suicide Squad into monsters or whatever the case may be. Second of all, you kind of like got Rick Flagg's dad in it, and he's old, and I don't really know what Rick Flagg's dad's going to do. Third of all, like, come on, man. I don't want to be connecting cartoons and animation shit to my real life shit. You know what I mean? Leave Peacemaker's continuity. Peacemaker and Vigilante are cool. You can throw them in the DCU. You can do a solo Peacemaker film. You can do season 2 of Peacemaker. Where the fuck is that at? Peacemaker was a fucking hit in some decent shit. Where is season 2? So you could do a lot with Peacemaker, but the Creature Commandos, we could live. The cartoon was good in itself. I like the cartoon. I watched it. The series was okay, but we could have lived without it being part of the DCU. That could be its own separate thing. Because we kind of want to get away from the Suicide Squad, don't we? I mean, James Gunn did the Suicide Squad, and he's keeping his continuity because of Peacemaker. But the Suicide Squad is nothing that has to be continuity as far as like anything else. Like, I like Harley Quinn, and y'all can try to develop something where that character shows up, maybe. But you also got to remember that the Joker is a character in the Suicide Squad unless you're going to throw the first one out. If you're throwing the first one out and you're keeping the second one just to keep Peacemaker, you can throw Harley Quinn in there and bring her in occasionally. You can throw some Suicide Squad shit out there if you want. Or if you find a way to make Suicide Squad better, maybe you can make another Suicide Squad solo film and make it good enough, you know, where you could do it. Maybe you could use some elements of Creature Commandos and kind of, but to make the animated Creature Commandos part of it, and that's fishy, wishy, bishy. And I don't really necessarily like it. But now, either way, DCU does not have the privilege, the right, the opportunity, the anything to flop for the Superman movie not to be good. Because if this Superman movie is not good, the hiring of James Gunn, the destruction of the Snyderverse, all that stuff goes to shit, and DC would be over. DC would be over, because what you can't do is try a cinematic universe more than one. Okay, you can't try a cinematic universe more than one. When they said the MCU might be over and they had to pivot and they got Dr. Doom and they doing this thing, MCU, they came back. Okay, DCU had a universe, it's done. It's over. The Snyderverse is over. All of it's over. And you're going to come back with another one, and you're going to try to connect this shit again. You cannot fail again. Because after you fail the second time, everybody's going to be like, fuck that. Fuck that DC. The Batman series can continue on. And you know what? That's the problem, too. You got to wait for the Superman movie to see whatever it's going to do. Because if the Superman movie doesn't do good, then the Batman franchise with the Penguin series and all that, they're not going to get in there. They're not going to get in there. They're going to be like, no, we're not part of that. They're going to distance themselves from that universe. They're going to distance themselves from that universe. And what you don't want is a Batman being made with Batman movies being made that's better than the Batman that's in your universe. If the Batman that's now existing says, and they want to continue with that, and they go, yo, we're going to continue with that because the Penguin series was fire, and the Batman was fire, and we're going to continue with Robert Pattinson's Batman. We're going to do more with that. We're going to elevate that. We're going to bring in the Joker, who's going to be like, the Joker's going to be like, this is going to be a good Joker. I mean, because they already got a Penguin, they can't go back. This Joker's going to be vicious. You understand what I'm saying? The Batman role gallery for Robert Pattinson's Batman is going to be vicious. If you bring that in and you continue to make those movies, you cannot have those movies be made aside from the DCU and have the DCU be corny as fuck. You can't do it. Because those people, if that Superman movie flop, they're going to say, we're not going to be a part of that. We're going to continue our Batman universe that's decent, that's good. We might add our own Superman later. Because you can't have a Batman without Superman existing, you know what I mean, if you're going to have a universe. And plus, because they have a universe now, they can start their own universe. You're going to have two DCU universes in the same world. And that would be fucked up. Because the Robert Pattinson's Batman universe would be the one I'll be watching. They can incorporate a Superman. They can incorporate Green Lantern. They can incorporate a Justice League into their shit. They can. I never understood why Batman had so many movies that came out and the Justice League was never mentioned. Superman was never mentioned. They had Batman films put out as a solo film. They had Superman films put out as solo entities. You know what I mean? But the solo entity shit is out now. Nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody's kind of doing that anymore. So Batman can eventually say, hey, these Batman movies are killing it. Joker, the Penguin series is killing it. Maybe we do a Joker series. That might kill it. Maybe we should introduce like a Green Lantern. Maybe we throw a Hawk Girl in there. Maybe we throw a Superman in there. You know what I mean? Maybe we throw a Lex Luthor in there. Like they probably would end up doing that. And then you got two competing universes and your shit already sucks. Nah, bro. You want at least the opportunity to have this Batman Junior universe. The other thing is, like I said, if this Superman movie flops, James Gunn is done over there. Because what James Gunn ain't going to do is going to keep trying again. We saw that. DCU already did that. And even though the Marvel Cinematic Universe can get rid of a flop, they started out not with a flop. They started out with the Hulk. And that Hulk movie was kind of decent, but they kind of pushed it under the rug. They kind of said, yo, this Hulk is part of it, but it ain't good enough to jumpstart it. So they kind of pushed the Hulk movie kind of under the rug, kind of like it's part of it, but it ain't. And then when the first Iron Man hit the bam. The first Iron Man hit the bam. Then the first Captain America hit the bam. Then it was like, okay, fire. Iron Man 2, Civil War, bam, bam, bam. You know what I mean? They had a couple of hits that got the ball really rolling. And then the first Avengers film kind of, you know what I mean? When they brought in the Loki and then they made Thor better because Thor was fucked up. His first movie was corny, but then they put him in Avengers. They made Loki better. Hulk was there. You know what I mean? A new Hulk and all that. That shit prospered and they had to go. But if you starting out now, everything's riding on this Superman. Everything's riding on this Superman because they advertising that this Superman is the start of a new DCU. This Superman is going to be everything. This Superman's going to be James Gunn's baby and all that. And I wouldn't have did that. I would have fucking faked the funk. You can always make a universe later on. You can always make a universe later on because now if this movie flops, you can't pivot now because you got a lot of things based on this movie. This movie is Superman. This is the DCU universe. Supergirl is going to come from this. You know what I mean? Green Lantern films are going to come from this. Everything that goes on with DCU in the movies after this movie is going to come from this. You already said it. So now you can't backtrack. Whereas if you would have just made the Superman movie, you would have just said, we're making a Superman movie. We're starting Superman over and making a Superman film. And you just made a Superman film and you didn't say it was part of the DC universe. You didn't say nothing else was coming of it. You act like it was a solo entity. You can ask shit later. If it was banging and it didn't flop and everybody watched it and everybody loved it and everybody enjoyed it and it made millions and millions and millions and billions and billions of dollars at the box office and everybody was like, hip hop, hooray, ho, hey, ho, then you can go ahead and start adding more shit to it. Then you can make a Supergirl movie. Oh, this is from Superman. You can make a Batman film. Oh, this is the Batman that's going to be the Superman that's going to be the Justice League. Guy Gardner's still here. Bang, 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 bang. You can do all that. But if this movie flops and you already said that it was starting the universe, that universe is going to be done before it even starts. And that's just that. That's just the way it's going to go. Sorry to hear it. I mean, I'm sorry to hear it. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just what it is. If this movie's not super, I'm going to be like this. And I'm going to watch it. I'm going to the movies. The first day it comes out, I'm going to the movies the first day it comes out. And like I said, I'm even going to be coming out of that film going hip hop, hooray, ho, hey, ho, or I'm going to be coming out of that movie theater going, this song's dedicated to my homies in that gangster lean. Why they have to go so soon? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It feels like yesterday we were watching Snyderverse. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's how I'm going to be. That's how I'm going to be because it's going to be over. The DCU is going to be buried. Now let's get into the actual film. I saw the first pictures. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. My problem with the original Superman, the Christopher Reeve Superman, is that I thought Lois wasn't hot enough. I ain't gonna lie. I judged that. And everybody know me. Everybody listens to my podcast. Everybody listens to some episodes. They know I judge the looks of the characters, okay? I judge the looks of the characters. All right? If you watch it, I got a podcast episode called Rocky Balboa where I say that the woman that they got to play Adrian, I can't think of her name right now, but the woman that they got to play Adrian wasn't hot enough. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't hot enough to be a leading lady in a series of films. You know what I mean? And they killed her off. Margot Kidder, to me, wasn't hot enough to be Lois Lane. In the comics and everything, Lois Lane was hot. Lois Lane was a catch. Lois Lane was like, you know, Lois Lane was the business. Lois Lane was a bad bitch, whatever you want to call it, right? And Margot Kidder was like, and she was like, yeah, she could fuck with Clark, but Superman can get the bitch that was with Lex. The bitch that was with Lex look like, you know what I mean? That's somebody Superman would be with. You know what I'm saying? Margot Kidder, you know, you were supposed to be a dime piece. I don't know. They couldn't get Jane Fonda. Oh, you know who they could have got? You know who would have been a banging ass Lois Lane? Wait, what was it? I gotta look it up. But it was Charlie's Angels, right? Charlie's Angels. The original Charlie's Angels. I'm gonna look this up right now, okay? I'm gonna get her name. I don't know her name, but I know, you know. Charlie's Angels, all right, the original Charlie's Angels cast. Jacqueline Smith, who was Kelly. She played Kelly in her. Well, damn. They could have got any one of them. They could have got any one of them Charlie's Angels. I mean, I was saying Kelly, Jacqueline Smith, because Kelly had the dark hair, but I ain't Farrah Fawcett. You know, Kate Jackson. I mean, all of them. Wait, let's see. Cheryl Ladd. And then they kind of get, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm going to just say, yeah, the original three and Cheryl Ladd. They could have got one of them Charlie's Angels girls to play Superman. I don't know if Superman came out before the Charlie's Angels girls was Charlie's Angels girls. I didn't look at when Charlie's Angels came out. Maybe I'll just go back to that page and see when it came out. Let me see. It might not have came out at the right time, maybe. But I'm pretty sure if it didn't come out at the right time, I'm pretty sure. Let's see when Charlie's Angels came out. 1976. 1976. So it was on time. They was available. Charlie's Angels was on time. So yeah, he could have got Cheryl Ladd Or he could have got one of them girls. Farrah Fawcett, he could have got one of them. Now I'm saying the one that played Kelly, I just forgot her name again, but the one that played Kelly should have been the one. She could have been Lois Lane. So I'm not, I didn't think that Margot Kidder was a good Lois Lane in the original Superman movies. And so now I'm looking at these people who they hired to play these people in this movie, and I'm like, I don't know about this cast. I mean, the guy that's playing Superman don't look. I just don't know the people that they advertise for be playing. Let me look at the cast again, make sure I don't misspeak or nothing like that. So I'm gonna look at the cast. Superman, the new Superman. Let me see, Superman. Spell it right, Tom. What the fuck? Superman, 2020-25 film. Let's look at the cast. Look at the cast. David Corn Sweat. Now, David Corn Sweat, like. When I look at the picture right here that they got of David Corn Sweat, I'm like, okay, player. Okay, he ain't no Henry Cavill now. He's not no Henry Cavill, but he cool. He cool. He looked like he could be Superman. But when I saw him actually be Superman, he didn't look right. He looked a little old. He looked like he was already beat up or something. I don't know. He didn't give me Superman. I don't know why. I don't know what happened in the process. This guy in this picture right here, this guy in this picture on my phone, this dude in the picture on my phone giving me Superman, but the dude that's in the movie that's actually wearing the costume and being Superman ain't giving me Superman. He ain't giving me Superman. Okay, let's see. Rachel Brosnahan, that's Lois Lane. Nah, bro. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. Nicholas Hoult, I like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I ain't gonna lie. I like a Lex Luthor that looks kind of like I like a Lex Luthor that looks like he might not have been Lex Luthor. I like a Lex Luthor that looks like he could have been like decent person and he just turned evil. So Nicholas Hoult is perfect. He fits the perfect guy of a guy that can look nice, look decent, but be a sinister motherfucker. So I like that casting. Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I don't like Nathan. I don't. Okay. I like Nathan Fillion. And I like that they're using the Guy Gardner Green Lantern because the Guy Gardner Green Lantern is the funnest Green Lantern. You know what I mean? Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern that was in the Justice League cartoons, and Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern that we all know and love. And Hal Jordan is probably going to end up showing up somewhere in this DC universe. He's probably going to come in and take out Guy Gardner or whatever. But Guy Gardner is the fun Green Lantern. He's the Green Lantern that had the issues. And that haircut, the way they did it, I mean, it looks crazy, but it looks like kind of like comic book accurate. And so I'm cool with that. And then they got Hulk Girl, they got Rick Flag Sr., they got, Cat Grant, they got, Jonathan Kitt and stuff like that. They got other people. But for the most part, the main characters are not thrilling me. The cast is not thrilling me. Okay? And then the other thing, so I saw the picture, and that picture didn't make no sense because it looked like something was outside of the window happening, and Superman was just in his apartment or wherever he was living at, just chilling, just watching it happen, just slowly putting his motherfucking boots on. I was just like, this is not a Superman that I know, because Superman would never do that. Superman would be called to action quick as shit. That whatever that is in that window was blasting. It looked like it was doing some damage. So I didn't trust that. I was like, okay, that's just the first picture. It's just a shot. We don't know what's happening. We're going to see it in the context of the film. Then when they really announced the film and they're like, Green Lantern's going to be in there. Hawk Girl's going to be in there. What's the guy's name? The T guy. I don't remember his name. He's going to be in there. There's going to be a lot of characters in there that's going to be setting up the Justice League. Possibly a Supergirl's going to be in there. And then it's like, but if you're kind of setting up a Justice League type thing, you kind of got to have a Batman in there, don't you? Like, I mean, you're having a Green Lantern, you're having a Supergirl, you're having a Hawk Girl, you know what I mean? You're having another guy, you're having all these Justice League members to kind of essentially set up that you're in a universe now, and you can spin off, and there's no Batman? There's no Batman around? So you're telling me that Batman exists, and all of these heroes are in Metropolis in a literally a city away, and this shit happening a city away where you need these heroes to participate in whatever's happening. And Batman ain't going to come help out. So I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm hoping, I'm wishing, and praying that a Batman shows up in this film. Maybe Robert Pattinson's Batman, or maybe the Batman that they're really going to use for this universe. I'm hoping that some kind of way Batman is referenced. Maybe they'll just reference him. Maybe they'll show Wayne Industries or something. They'll do something to indicate that there is a Batman that exists in this universe, and for whatever reason, Batman ain't around, or he's not involved in this. Like, you gotta incorporate Batman some way, somehow, some kind of way. Because if you don't, then it's like, is this really the DC? Like, is this the universe? You know what I mean? But to add all that so quickly, it's like, I don't want all that. Like, why? You start out with a solo Superman film. This is a Superman film. Why can't we just focus on Superman? I understand we're not going to do an origin story. I understand that. And I understand that if Superman is already here and he's been here for a while and he's been Superman for a while and he's already fucking Lois and all that shit is already happening, that other superheroes, if they're going to be in this universe, would be out of the woodwork. I understand that. But they don't have to be there. We can reference them and they don't have to be there. They can say, hey, there's other superheroes. They can say something about a Green Lantern. They can do a news show. Green Lantern's fighting this person here or there. They can do a news show. Hawkgirl's there. They can bring Supergirl in because she's his cousin. She could definitely go help them. They can bring her in, and she wasn't really part of the Justice League anyway, so they can incorporate Supergirl. But it seemed like they're throwing a lot. Seems like they're throwing a lot in the pot. You know what I mean? Like they making a gumbo. You know, they making a gumbo. But here's the thing. If you got steak and you got shrimp and you got sausage and you got all these different wonderful ingredients in your house, you got steak in your freezer, shrimp in your freezer, sausage in your freezer. You got some nice good chicken in your freezer, chicken breast. You got all this shit in your freezer. You got some nice fresh good vegetables in your house. You know, you got your corns and your tomatoes and your I don't know vegetables. I ain't gonna lie, your peas. Nah, not your peas. The peas gonna come up. I don't know, but you got essentially a lot of shit to make 5 or 6 good motherfucking meals, right? And you decide to make gumbo. If that gumbo's nasty, and you gotta throw that whole if that gumbo's nasty and you gotta throw that whole pot of gumbo out, you're fucked. Because you fucked up a lot of meals. You fucked yourself. They making a gumbo here. The Superman movie looks like a gumbo. And if it's fucked up, you got to throw that gumbo out. It's fucked up, right? And that's just my opinion on it. Okay, so now let's get to the actual trailer. The actual trailer comes out, and I was essentially excited to see this trailer because I love Superman. I'm excited about the film. I'm always in about the DCU. And plus, I do this shit. I podcast, okay? And I am an entertainment podcast, and so I have to talk about it. I have to be involved. I have to know, this shit. I have to see this film, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited a little bit. And then I got real not excited. Real not excited. Like, I don't know. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I watched what is it called? Oh man, I'm keep forgetting everything today. But I watched like Screen Crush. You know what I'm saying? And NR podcast, you know what I'm saying? I watch all of these YouTubers that talk about this kind of stuff. Screen Crush, Ryan Aries, Eric Voss is with Nerd Riot or something like that. Eric Voss is with them. I watched their things, and these people are excited. Jessica Clemens, you know what I'm saying? They are excited, and I'm excited too. But they are like thrilled with the trailer. And I was not thrilled with the trailer. The trailer was actually a disappointment to me. The trailer now scares me in thinking that this movie's going to flop because I didn't see nothing that made me want to watch it. I saw Superman crash in the snow. He's laying there and he's bleeding. And I'm like, okay, he already done got fucked up. And then he calls Comet. And I'm just going to say, Comet, the super dog, is the stupidest shit I ever thought about in my life. I don't like Comet in the comic books. I don't like Comet in the cartoons. I don't like Comet at all. I don't think Comet should exist. I think that a Kryptonian dog would not look like a regular Earth dog. I think that Comet being a super dog doesn't make sense. The motherfuckers don't talk like it's super dogs just don't. I don't know. Nothing about Comet thrills me. Nothing about Comet excites me. And the fact that Comet in this movie kind of makes me sick. Because what are you going to do with Comet? How are you going to make Comet a character? Like Comet's going to come fly and help out with in their battles. Comet's going to be dare to bite people. Like, the fuck are you doing with Comet? So I don't like the fact that Comet's in this movie, and then when I see him, the dog is cute. The dog is cute, and Superman's like, take me home. And Comet has to grab him and drag him back to the Fortress of Solitude. I was just like, what? I don't like that. And then I see Superman, when he caught the little girl and he saved the little girl, that was good. That was cinematic. That was cinema. That was like, you know, the visuals was great on that, but, you know, that ain't nothing exciting. That ain't nothing to thrill me. I saw one thing of Lex Luthor. He didn't say nothing. He had the gun up. You know, he looked in the window. He got mad. Superman flew by. And then you see Lex Luthor with a gun up. You know, okay, cool. That was cool. You see Superman punch through a glass thing, and I'm like, Superman was caught and encased in a glass case. Like, this is corny. Like, why is he in glass? Like, who gives a fuck? And then they wanted to let you know real bad that Superman and Lois is fucking. Which to me is like, I don't need to know Superman and Lois is fucking. I mean, like, we know that this is a later on version of Superman. So if this is a later on version of Superman, of course he's fucking Lois. Like, he started fucking with Lois like year one. Like, if you watch the first Superman, Superman and Lois was getting busy. In Superman 2, in the original Christopher Reeve Superman, in Superman 2, Superman gave up his power so he could fuck on Lois and be with her. Superman 2. Okay, so if this is older Superman, and Superman already exists, we already know he's fucking on Lois. So why does the first trailer we see gotta see him and Lois getting down like 3 or 4 times? It was 3 or 4 cuts. Lois and Superman hugging, kissing, floating up, kissing. Like, okay, he's fucking Lois. We know. We get it. Is this a romance? Is this a superhero film or a fucking romance? Because I mean, how many scenes is it going to be with him and Lois kissing? Is we going to see some fucking? Is we going to see some actual fucking? Is we going to see him bend Lois over that bed and hurt her? If we going to see that, because we going to see that, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm in. We going to see some Superman fucking. We going to see that super dick. You know what I mean? We going to see it. No, we're not going to see that. No, we're not going to see that. I don't care about Superman and Lois. We already know they fucking. We already know they together, they date, and they all that. The trailer showed it to you, so I don't want to see a bunch of scenes where it's going to be Superman going to be crying and Lois going to be consoling him, or he's going to be beat up, Lois going to be consoling him, or Lois is going to be like, no, Clark, you can't go, you can't win, consoling him, or Lois. I think that scene where they was out there and they saw the thing in the window and they fighting, Lois was trying to keep Clark from going. She was trying to say, listen, let Green Lantern handle that shit. You already done what you can do. The people already turned to him. We see the people turned on him, that motherfucker hit him in the head with a can. Bam! Fucked him up. Now, see, that's the thing. And then Green Lantern comes in the building and whatever like that. I don't know. And then they fighting like a alien. What is it called? Somebody said it's called like a conchu or something. It's like a big-ass alien dinosaur or some shit. Whatever that is, too, I'm not interested. But anyway, there's a reason why I said I would always be a supervillain, because you got me fucked up. If I'm Superman, you're not busting me upside my head with no fucking can, bro. I'm Superman. I would have turned around and froze him with my fucking super breath real quick. He would have been frozen up. He would have been frozen just like this with the can. Looking ugly as shit. That's how he would have been. And I would say, anybody else got something to say? Anybody else want to throw some shit? Because I'm all for that shit. You know what I mean? I'm Superman. Superman letting people spit on him, talk shit to him, hit him in the head with a can. Like, fuck out of here, bro. You're not doing that to me. But anyway, I digress on all that. I did all this to say this. The DCU does not have the privilege of the MCU, because the MCU has had enough hits, has kept their continuity, and has been around, has produced enough show with the Marvel shows on Disney Plus, and then all the Disney Plus shows and the Netflix shows, and they're bringing Daredevil back, and everything that Marvel has done in all of these years that they've had the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They gave themselves leeways for Quantumania. They gave themselves leeways for the Marvels. They gave themselves leeways for Love and Thunder, even though I think it was a good film and everybody else said fuck it. So they gave themselves leeway with that because they produced enough quality shit that we can forgive some of the flops. They produced the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. They produced the Captain America trilogy. They produced the Avengers movies, which were good. Age of Ultron, Endgame, Infinity War, all good films. They produced all of that. We saw all of that. So when we see all of that, and we've gotten a lot, and we've gotten Deadpool, and we've gotten Deadpool and Wolverine, which was not a good movie, but it was fun. But I'll get into that later. I mean, I won't get into that later. That ain't part of this episode. But we've seen all of that. So they gave us enough good to forgive the bad. DCU does not have that privilege of saying, okay, they gave us enough good to forgive the bad. James Gunn might have, but DCU have not. So this is the thing. If they start out with the bad, we ain't going to get to the good. I'm sorry. If they start out with the bad, we ain't going to get to the good. And this movie cannot just be all right. I can't leave out there going, that was all right. I enjoyed it. It was all right. You can't. No. And I can't leave out there going, it was bad. Like if I said, if it's bad, this song's dedicated, pour out a little liquor. Because DC gonna have a funeral. You know what I'm saying? But so it's gotta be super. That's why I said this episode, Superman better be super. It better be super. It better knock some motherfucking socks off. With critics, with fans, with box office, with everything. This has gotta be the best thing that DC has put out in a long time, because if it ain't, they don't have no leeway. They don't have no leash. They don't have no nothing. They like Lamar Jackson. They just like Lamar Jackson. You don't. It's Super Bowl a bust, Lamar, and it's bust. And we talking shit about this man. Lamar Jackson, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. We talking shit about him. We talking shit about him today because, hey, man, 2 MVPs, okay, about to maybe be 3 MVPs. All that shit you've been doing, all that shit you've been talking. You ain't got none of them rings and things. You ain't got no trophies. You ain't got no championships. Brother. Nope. Not going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to support you. It's over for you. And that's how it's going to be for the DCU. And with that being said, I'm going to end this episode with once again right here. Speaking of champ, right here, we go to that NFC championship. They said we couldn't beat them Lions. We were scarred. But guess what Scar did? Scar killed Mufasa ass. Yes, he did. He killed Mufasa ass. And like I said, man, we going to listen. The Native Americans held the eagle sacred. Didn't they? The Native Americans held the eagle sacred, right? They did, but it ain't happening. Because guess what? You know what I mean? The Native Americans held the eagle sacred. If the Eagles was playing the old time, if the Eagles was playing these boys. If the Eagles was playing those boys, maybe they had a chance. But Commanders don't give a fuck about them birds. You know what I'm saying? So them seagulls, them beagles, them bum-ass birds, they is going down. But also, today's episode is sponsored by, guess what, y'all? Guess what? Let me show you. Today's episode is sponsored by me. That's right, it's sponsored by me because I got something for y'all if y'all want it. If y'all don't want it, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, because y'all don't want a lot. Y'all don't really support me that much. You know what I mean? The people who do support me, the people that's always here, my guys, Dan Dinkins and the TJ and Jamal and Big O, the guys from the starting five that support me, that allowed me to be on a podcast, that took me in. Even though they treat me like a stepchild, they still took me in. I still live in their house. I eat their food, you know what I'm saying? Even though I get treated bad, but I still eat their food, and they ain't beating me. I'm not getting child abuse. A little bit. Not much. But anyway, they took me in. To Brian Lopez, the UWO podcast, who's come here and who's showed up for my episodes, who's allowed me to be in his episodes. To Corey from Amera Media, who's allowed me to be on their podcast. And it's cool with me, you know what I'm saying? All of those people then just said, okay, listen, this is what I got to get better with. I'm going to put it up there so y'all can see it. The damn thing is put this up here. Now, that's Dan from the starting five, and it says, it's your podcast, fool. And I always keep forgetting that because I always, and it's not on purpose. I just be trying to show them respect because they had the show before me and they let me in. And now I know I'm a part of it, but it's just kind of like, it's still kind of like kicking in on me that I'm part of this thing. Like I'm part of something, like I'm in it, like it's mine now too. But you know that, I'll get better. But anyway, this show is sponsored by me because I got these. And listen. I do construction. So anything I make is going to be construction colors. This is for my boys, my mans in them. I'm in Local 474 Power Drivers. This is who I want to wear these. Okay? This is really who they made for, but I'm saying that anybody can get it. Anybody can get it for $25. I'll give it to anybody. For $25, you can get one of these if you want it. But I'm just saying that it's going to be in construction safety colors. I got this. I got the yellow safety. Well, the green it's neon. It's yellow. I got the yellow safety, and I got them in orange too. So if anybody want one, yellow or orange, Let me know. Give me your size. Put it in the comments. Call me. Whatever y'all want to do. Yeah, High Vis. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of it right now. But yeah, High Vis yellow. I got that. And I got High Vis orange in the Lisper sweatshirt for $25. But look here. I also got this one too. Dangerous Dummies. And now I got a podcast series. It's part of the Lisper podcast, but it's a series of shows. There's 4 of them. I got 4 episodes called The Dangerous Dummies, where I talk about work stories. And I talk about stories where people got fucked up. Not hurt enough for me not to talk about it, but fucked up doing some dumb shit. Because we do some dumb shit out here. We do some dangerous shit, and sometimes it gets dumb. And the dumb shit is hilarious, and that's why I talk about it. Now, everybody that's in it, there's a disclaimer on them, because I don't put their names out there, because I don't want to embarrass nobody. And also, I put a disclaimer on there to tell you that anybody in those stories was not harmed. You know how the movie say no animals was harmed in this filming of this video? And no people were harmed in the stories that I'm talking about on Dangerous Dummies. Maybe they cried. Maybe they was emotionally. Maybe their feelings was hurt, but their bodies was okay. Some of them ended up okay. Let's just say they ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? They ain't dead. But anyway, I got these 2, and I got these in High Vis yellow and High Vis orange. So if you want one, they're $25. If you're fat, I shouldn't say that. If you're bigger than a 1X, you ain't getting one, because I don't have 2X. I only got mediums, larges, and extra larges. And the reason why is because if you're a grown man, you shouldn't be in a small. I'm not getting smalls. I got them for mostly men. There's a couple of women in my local, but I got them for mostly men, and I refuse to put a man in a small. And 2X is okay. If you want a 2X, it's gonna. I was trying to make it profitable for the price range, and 2X is not profitable for the price range. I'm sorry, folks. But if you're bigger than 1X, man, you can get it and give it to your daughter or your wife or your cousin or your little brother, or your son. You know, you can still get one. You just can't wear that motherfucker. Or you could. You know, you could, because nowadays people be liking shit tight. So if you want one, let me know. If you hit me up on my phone, you can text me, you can call me, you can message me on Facebook, you can put it in the comments right now. This is on YouTube too. So if you go on the Lisper podcast on YouTube, you can say something to me. You can go on Instagram and say something to me. I'm probably gonna see it. I don't be on Instagram, but I'm probably gonna get Instagram back. TikTok is back too. They ain't that funny. But anyway, so that's it. I'm sponsoring my own show today. Shout out to I can't stop. I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the 2 minutes that I got left, because this is the woo-hoo, baby. Oh man, I was I'm going for shit. If the Commanders beat the Eagles, matter of fact, I'm taking it back. When the Commanders beat the Eagles, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna get over there and I'm gonna be scalping. I'm gonna be shaking his ass for some cash. I'm gonna be doing anything I can so me and Brittany can get in the building. I'm gonna need 2 tickets. Brittany might have to pull something out. She might have to show a little something. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I don't want to, but Brittany might have to show a little something, because if the Commanders go to the Super Bowl, we gotta get in there, and it ain't in the budget. And if she's watching, honey, if you're watching or you hear me out there, you in the living room, you might can hear me. I might need you to shake a little ass. I ain't gonna lie, because we gotta get in the building. But for now, it's a celebration, bitches. That's right. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And you'll see me this time. And one day, this show's gonna be on the TV. Promise you.